feet.
More than I think.
5 feet. What comes on the screen when we rest like this?
Only usual thoughts, so to say, like the world disappears and then it appears again, and thoughts like this. And also some noticings of bodily noticings, contractions, releasing, and so on. Can I ask you what's the background of your question? Was there a background?
Sometimes it feels to me like really dancing together. And sometimes it feels to me like there's like resting.
Hmm.
And I'm not so sure of the value of just resting like that together. So
Okay.
for me, it was curious to see, okay, how, what's happening in on your screen, so to speak. Just,
Hmm. Hmm.
it's relatively quiet. There's no major.
Yeah, there was a
Let's-
noticing. Yeah.
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 So nothing
There
right,
was
nothing
yeah.
wrong, just kind of curious, it's like, okay, here we are,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
sitting together, and then, okay, from my side, there's times when I can really feel like, okay, something of value is happening, and other times like, okay, yeah, happy to sit here, but mm,
Okay.
yeah, so it's nothing to do with you, it's just,
Yeah, I understand.
yeah.
Yeah. There was a noticing of thinking activity rising up yesterday evening and also this morning. That was the background here to wave my hands. All right.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice.
Hello, I think I'm on my mobile.
Okay.
I don't get you very big, but I can see you. I can't see myself, but it's no real problem. Mm. I love to share that. Still, my deepest longing is to rest or abide with that. And addiction patterns are so strong recently. Also, without working less, and I had some leg trouble, so suddenly I move as much as I'm used to. With friends, some trouble, and I see it. I'm really escaping in a sort of dream world, which I used to do as a kid, and that feels safe. There it's safe, but also it's not really what I want. Well, anyway, I love to.
Let's just explore that idea of abiding.
Yeah,
What does it
that's a
mean?
word I got one time from John the Router, and I found it a beautiful word somehow. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's see what that means to you.
You're asking me now, or
Yeah.
what it means?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, to be it, or to, like, I was amazed yesterday morning in bed to feel like a live stream, and then there's thoughts and there is an idea of a body, but this live stream was very strong, and yeah, that's the right thing, or that's what feels like abiding. But personality is very restless, and the mind is restless easy. So if it happens for some hours, I'm very happy, and then
I told you the story of when Popji said to me, you know, in the depths of the ocean, it's very quiet. And on the surface, it's wavy. And if there's a preference for the depth rather than the surface,
Yeah.
then you're no longer the ocean, you're on the shore. Because the ocean is all of it. So it seems to me that somehow this idea of abiding has become like a way to measure whether you're the ocean or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then my question would be, is that useful? Or does it cause difficulty or problem?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that when there's waves, there's no interest in exploring and being present to that. But if there's a preference or somehow making it mean that you're not abiding, or that there's a you that's not abiding,
Mm, mm,
then it produces a difficulty.
yeah. And what I see is it feels I really go out. You know, I'm really away in these things, and there is something is still aware of it. That's
Yeah. So then what is it that's away? It's all it can be is your attention, yeah? It's not you.
yeah,
So attention maybe follows a thought, or it goes into the future, or a thought or a feeling or something like that.
yeah, with a strong judgment that I should do different things, creative things.
Is that what it sounds like, that this abiding has become part of a judgmental vortex?
Mm, mm, yeah.
So, you know, to me, it's worth looking and just seeing if that's true. Is it useful or is it necessary?
It gives a lot of unhappiness, stress, or
Yeah.
yeah. I'm so touched by your answer somehow. Makes it, yeah. Thank you so much. And also very grateful for everybody for their sharing, which makes for me more easy to also do so. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. Lara. Hi, Lara.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I do. I'm interested also what's on your screen when we sit together.
Yeah, I was anticipating that question. um, I mean, there's a kind of a pull to say some things and ask some things,
Feel free.
which is kind of part of a suffering thought stream I'm in at the moment, and then just recognizing that there's a opportunity to have a breath and to rest. And like for me, that interest is stronger, and
Yeah.
Yet this patterning at the moment is so intense. I feel like I have to bring it to get some light on it and get some help with it, and then I'm back here with you, and I'm like, that's where I want to rest.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, and that's beautiful. So when we're just resting, to me, it feels like it gets quiet. I don't know how it feels to you. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the play. It's quiet.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
my interest. And yet there's this other part that's,
So, yeah. So
Yeah,
then just, so thoughts come. And when you say they freak you out, when it's quiet, it's sort of like it gets quiet, and then the thought comes again. And so the nature of the thought is doubt, or how would you describe the nature of the thought?
I mean, this particular thought stream, and I guess it is what comes up here is, doubt of aloneness, and this, like, there's been a lot of fear of abandonment. So when I'm sitting here, there's the doubt that I just need a second with that.
Yeah, take your time. The last time we sat together, there was like another dynamic where it was like some kind of save me. I'll do anything, save me. Yeah, that's not playing this
I spoke
time.
that, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah, and you spoke that, and it's not playing this time. As far as I can feel, it's different.
I mean, it's here, but I have such a full awareness of it. Like, that is what's playing in my life. Like, but I'm so fully aware of it. In a way, it kind of defaults it, but it is there, and it's kind of strong, but I know it's not. I know it doesn't provide anything. So then I'm in this.
Okay. In the way our systems are meeting now, just have you sense that or feel that?
It feels like it's slowly going through a process of back and forth and in and out of like the save me thing, but it kind of exploring it at a deeper level rather than just being stuck in it.
Yeah, beautiful.
And it
Yeah.
feels like that is like so needed.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
And at the same time, I'm not even quite sure what I'm playing with.
Yeah, no, that's totally cool. So we resting here, and there's awareness, and then the nervous system is like I'll just use my language and see if it resonates for you. Yeah, okay, so like there's you mentioned feeling alone, and then some sense of, you know, wanting to feel, rather than alone, oneness, you could say, or being fully met.
Mm.
So it's, you know, like the being fully met can move into, you know, like the Hollywood version of meeting a soulmate or something like that. But if we just keep it simple in the now, here, just like really resting and just you're welcome to feel me fully, and I'm welcome to feel you fully, just here right now. No trying to solve anything or looking for a solution to aloneness, but just taking the opportunity, and you are taking the opportunity to explore just resting and watching where it moves into some kind of ripples, you could say, like that.
Mm.
Movements, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I talk about receiving this moment as the beloved. So here we are, and the sensations of this moment, and they really are here. I'm curious if that thought stream is still playing, or that's kind of gotten quieter or gotten more noisy. Just
Yeah, it's still making itself known, but there's definitely a deepening of something that's bigger than that happening.
yeah.
And then there's doubt again, you know, that's
Mm.
not going to be enough to stop this.
that idea of stopping something.
Say that again.
That idea of stopping something.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so nothing right or wrong about it, but what happens if that thought is believed in at all? Just taking time to look.
The thought that I need something to stop in order to
Yes,
experience this.
yeah. What is that thought? What are the dimensions of that thought, the different layers of it, and the different, what does it bring into view?
Oh, I mean, it brings a lot of things. It's kind of like ultimately it's in the way,
Yeah,
but there's such a familiarity to it that in a way it doesn't actually know the answer to. I can see it more than yeah, I can feel it more than know how to speak it, but
so in this moment, does it facilitate or assist of meeting this moment as the beloved, or does it interfere with that?
well, if I went there, it would interfere with it.
Yeah, no doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt, yeah.
But this moment's very inviting. There's an idea that the other moments aren't as inviting. And so then it would rather go to the familiarity of whatever that was. Because there is actually a fear of, this invitation feels very clear and solid and obvious. When I'm out on my own, I'm not sensing that invitation. So there's a fear.
So just being present to that fear right now. What does that fear add to the soup, or what does it bring? What's it? Does it assist with meeting this moment as the beloved, or does it interfere? Or... If it's believed in, if this was the last moment, this is how are we going to spend it?
Oh yeah, it's totally cool. This moment's totally fine. It's all the other moments.
So now it's jump to other moments. Yeah.
I'm laughing, but something quite
Believes it.
profound is occurring.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
And the part of the going back and forward is it feels an important part of it.
Yeah. Just to see, I mean, in a way, that's to me, it seems like generic movements that everybody knows. Yeah. And
I mean, it sounds like a silly thing to say, but I'll say it anyway. It feels important to bring the fear of those other moments in, even though they're not here now. If something keeps going off there, it kind of feels like, well, can I bring it in to here so it's not such a separation? And that is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, and so then we look and see, okay, great, it's like, so that fear, or could say that a thought of the future arises and somehow seems important.
It's more about the invitation of the moment when it's not so obvious. Then there is a fear of letting go into that.
In this moment. I'm feeling
myself like standing like outside looking out and just like really not knowing and not, and then feeling like I need this solid invitation to be okay, and that's where the save me comes in. I'm not even sure what I'm saying, it's just what's coming on my screen.
No worries.
And it's starting to merge together.
Mm-hmm.
And for you?
Just enjoying watching, like examining as thoughts come and as movements happen, and just checking them out, seeing, easy, relaxed.
Yeah, it's a checking out. That's how it feels. Now there's a much more easy flow.
Cool. Thanks, Lara.
Much gratitude.
Risha.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you save me?
Doubt it.
I know now that I need another cancer operation here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And this time they suggested plastic surgery.
Okay.
And I immediately, when they had a special machine now, a German one, now they could see that where are the cells. Interesting. And then they said, oh, he is still there, and there, 2 doctors. And I felt so clear this big wave coming in my belly, you know.
Yeah, I understand.
And now, so I can say I'm not in peace with this, the system. And I tried to find out where's this hour? What is the point? There's fear, clear. And then I remember something from the childhood when at the dentist that they had to hold me in the chair with 4 people. And one of these 4 people was my father. So things like this, I don't know the expression, is it to be delivered, something?
You know, it's like, so if this, it's giving an opportunity for some, maybe some of those memories to get
up.
cleared, yeah, come up and get cleared.
No, yeah, it's clear. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I like to come in peace with it, you know.
You know, so what's the difference between I'd like to come to peace in this and I'm the peace in which this is happening?
Good, good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so
Yeah.
clear, but
Yeah.
there the peace goes.
No, the peace is still here.
I know.
It's just within the, you could say within awareness, there's some ripples, okay.
And then the thought, maybe it never ends.
Yeah.
They will operate you since you so
Well,
whoa.
for sure there'll be an end.
Yeah. So enjoy the ride until then. No?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, it's like, in a way, you know, like, I'm not sure if this would have happened like 50 years ago, you know.
Clear, yeah, clear.
Yeah, so in some ways, you know,
So I still can be saved. Yeah, yeah.
you're lucky, I mean, in that regard. And also at the same time, you know, of course, you know, having an operation on your lips, yeah.
And it's the third, you know.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
all this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and you survived the others.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. And I still can use my mouth for singing and things like this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand, of course. There's a touch. It's about, wow,
Mhm.
what's going on? And so that memory surfaced of being held in the chair and all that. And so yes, feeling if there's any residue from that at all, you know, that somehow.
Yeah. Mm. I knew you could save me. Thank you so much.
You have a funny sense of humor.
I got it from you. Thank you.
Monica. Hi, Monica.
Hi, yeah, hi, Isaac.
Hi, Monica. So it's clear there's awareness here. And there's sensations, whatever we want to call it. This eyes are seeing, ears are hearing, nose is smelling, skin is touching.
It's coming up. Can I speak?
Yes, with pleasure.
Okay. There is a habit in the system. It doesn't play so much when I'm in contact with you, but when I go in contact, there is such a fear to be judged or to be rejected, and I can see how it plays in groups or when I meet people, that the system is permanently then contracting, and wow. Yeah, and it has also an impact of speaking and so on.
You speak it, I mean, you speak it clearly, Monica. And so if, call it another system, rejects this expression, would it be that person that's rejecting? Would it be an unconscious pattern in them that's rejecting?
Of course, an unconscious pattern.
It would be and so what does that unconscious pattern playing in them have to do with you? Actually nothing.
At
Yeah?
all.
Actually nothing, yeah. And yet your system has information you could say of looking for possible rejection.
Yeah. Yeah, this is true, I can see.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so, you know, it's interesting just to explore that a little bit. It's like, okay, can you find that in your father or your mother? That
Both of them.
both of them. Okay, so you can see somehow this was passed on in a way. And then just sit for a moment and, if you can, just sense how that looking or fear of being rejected sits in your cells, is there any particular organ that it touches more, or where in the brain does it, like, just where does the, like just tracking it in a certain sense, the energetic of that particular filter that's been passed down, and we're just taking a moment or two. We can see that it actually has nothing to do with you or with anyone else, just with unconscious patterns. Unconscious patterns playing. But just taking a moment to track, okay, how does that sit in the cellular functioning in? Is there any organ you feel it in more? Is it, how do you sense it in?
I sense it really in the cells. They are vibrating. It also in the diaphragm. It's very like stone. It feels a little bit as the body is divided in two, because I can't.
Well, beautiful tracking. Yeah.
It sits in my eyes, of course. They're very contracted because they always have to search and control the environment. It's also sitting in my lungs. My breathing is very
Shallow, yeah.
shallow.
Hmm. And so just you've done a beautiful job of mapping and tracking. And then just see, like, so this has been a habit for however many years, you could say, and maybe ever many generations.
Yeah.
And just honoring it and seeing, is that all of that still necessary now? Or would it be okay for that to integrate?
Not necessary anymore, or at least at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, not necessary. And so then, the question, would it be okay for it to integrate now and just get the information that it needs in this moment, that it's safe and that you're here and you have every right to be here. And, yeah, not necessary anymore.
Would be fine to integrate.
Yeah, fantastic, cool. Just giving your nervous system a few moments to, okay, yeah, it would be fine. It would be totally cool. Yeah. Not necessary anymore.
Mm.
And just feeling how your system like plays, or like you just introduced a possibility, and just see how your system opens to it, or like incorporates it. Because it really doesn't need to take time. It doesn't need to take out. It's just like it's okay that it could just go, look, done.
Mm. It's interesting. It's really like a little bit, it's calming down the system, but it's also a bit of this feeling to find, as I did talk last time to you, but I don't do, but it feels really like the system would like to say goodbye. It's too much, but it isn't, but this is this.
Yeah. So that's a layer to this whole story. So it's good. It's like it's coming up on the screen now, because it doesn't know itself here. It just doesn't know itself here. So it's like, wow, who would I be without that? Yeah, it's like, wow, no orientation for a moment. It's just like, okay.
Good to speak, because now I feel more grounded.
Yeah, and so now there's a curiosity. You see, wow, who would you be without that? It's like, yeah, it's cool. Old friend, you could say. It's like, very tied to survival. So in an existential pattern, you could say, like, listen, wow, without that pattern, am I still, will I survive even? Yeah. So, yeah. Just taking a moment, will I survive without that pattern?
Say again, Isaac.
Will I survive without that pattern?
I will.
Yeah, cool.
Easy. It would be even a bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
And I did notice, because when you did speak before to, I think it was Laura, I'm not sure, there's always, I noticed this tendency when I feel safe with a person like with you, and maybe this is a part of this pattern. On one side, there's this fear of rejection and of to be judged. And on the other side, if the system feels I can see it now. Wow. If the system feels a little bit safe with someone, then I would like to jump to this person and I would like to, oh, save me. And then I'm, you know, I'm a bit too much for the others. And then this other,
So it plays, it reinforces that other pattern. Yeah.
yeah, this is amazing to see now.
Yeah. Beautiful to see it and beautiful to speak it so clearly.
It's a little bit shame with it, you know.
That's okay. Beautiful that that's showing itself too. What might be interesting, just for a second, just to go to gallery view and just how many people know that save me mechanism. Just so you see, it's actually very common, Monica. So it's not personal to you, but it's good to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is really good because then thank you all for.
Yeah. And of course, there's shame with it. You know, it's like we've been told it's not okay, and you know that. So anyway, but just good to see it's something that plays in consciousness that troubles many of us. You know, we start to feel safe and something just wants to secure it or wants to, you know, like, because the usual means are then, oh, going into agreement, now you know, we soulmates or whatever the story is. And and then making all these promises and all this stuff to try and, you know, and then it stuffs up because it has to.
Yeah, this is good to see, and it feels a little bit because before I track this pattern to contract when I feel judged and so on, and now it feels like I could stay a little bit more on my own, you know.
Yeah, more sovereign, more on your own feet.
Yeah. I don't feel as I have to jump immediately to someone, you know, this mechanism, because this was very, very quick. When I feel safe, that the system jumped on someone. And at the moment, this impulse, you know, is more I can control. It's not the right word to control, but I can decide. Before it was so unconscious.
Automatic, yeah. Beautiful, Monica. And you can, you know, like, if it does come up and you do feel safe with that person, just to speak it, look, you know, like somehow the system now wants to jump on it and go into its old system of trying to, so you just can speak it, you know. It's like, it's like, you know, there's shame with it, there's all that. And look, I'm not interested in going down that road anymore. I'm just interested to meet beautifully without, you know, we've grown up in a culture where there's all these ideas of, you know, we have to get commitments in order to feel safe, but they don't make us feel safe.
Not at all.
Not at all. And we know we're lying when we commit. Like, I'll commit to you, and unless I change my mind, because that's what the marriage vows are about. You know, I'll be with you through everything unless I change my mind.
Yeah.
And so,
so good to see. It's because it's seen now more clearly. I heard you speak this so often, but I think there was still this entanglement of
for
this.
sure. Look, It's, you know, because usually, you know, it's like when it's in the save me story, it's like,
Mhm.
what do I have to do? What do I have to do or be so that you won't leave me?
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's like it completes giving ourselves away
Mm.
automatically and consciously. It's nothing we would ever do consciously. Yeah. But unconsciously, no problem.
Yeah.
And, you know, then there's no chance anymore to meet fresh, to
No.
really meet deeply and intimately. It's polluted. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because you found now someone you feel safe, then always this pattern is happening, and also because of this commitment, you can't meet the other person because you think, okay, now I have all these commitments, I feel safe here, and then there's no meeting anymore.
No meeting anymore and no possibility, because as long as that program's playing, what do I have to do or be so you won't leave me? There's no chance to be authentic.
Yeah, this is the other side of the.
And then even if the person says, you know, I really love you, you know, I'm not being authentic, so it never really lands. It's like it's really a horrible dynamic that almost everybody falls into it.
Mm. Wow. And I can see it now with this meeting with you, Isaac. I feel it now. Even, yeah, it's different how I can meet you at the moment. I feel more, you know, in my own power. And,
Perfect.
and I see you on the same level. And before it was also, but there's a lot of respect, you know. This doesn't mean,
That has
you know what I
nothing,
mean?
of course, I get the distinction. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's go back to gallery view just for a moment and just check with the Sangha, with this group, if anyone got any value out of this exploration. So, yeah, just to see, it's like.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
So, and I felt you all, and this was
Yeah.
really great. Thank you. Thank you, Isaac.
Thank you, Monica. Beautiful. Thanks for being the voice of that.
Mm. May I continue?
Susanna. Yes, of course. I have to come back and pin you again. Okay, cool. Hey, Susanna. Just comes in my mind to speak it. So, I was speaking with someone today who had this idea that, you know, we have there's certain people that we have a stronger connection with and other people who we have less of a connection with. And so, you know, I was just asking to make the distinction. Is it the person we have the connection with? Or is it the patterns that we have the connection with? What does it mean when we say I have a, just to, you know, it's like Because, you know, we've grown up again in a culture where we're so quick to say, I love you. But then what the hell does that mean? What's the I? What's the you?
There are
And
patterns.
usually if we say, I love you, then if they don't say, I love you back, you know, then, boy, there's trouble.
Yes. Yeah.
Look, there's love and it's flowing. How beautiful! But you know, like I'm just trying to make a distinction between this unconditional loving that doesn't have to do with an object, that is just love overflowing, and when it's like, I love you, and because of that, you owe me.
Yes.
You know, if you don't return it, you're going to break my heart.
And finished with unconditional love, because then you are also loving with other people, so it can't be.
Yeah. And how to navigate, you know, that, like that unconditional love that doesn't need anything, that doesn't want anything, it's just sovereign, it's in its integrity, in its own being. It's not, you know, it's not running after breadcrumbs. It's not, you know, like it's just here.
And for me, I noticed that it's so easy to, was das verwechseln? To get it,
Change.
no,
You're
not
confused.
changed in the mind to be confused about
Yeah.
what that means, because that also can be taken by the mind, and it can be an idea. So I don't need you, and I am, you know, this hardness that.
Yeah.
But that's not it.
That's not it either. It's just like, you know, it's like,
because I got
this,
confused with this for many years.
Yeah. So what's the I and what's the you? I don't need you. What does that mean?
Yeah. Basically separation.
There might be a pattern playing of wanting and needing.
Yeah.
But again, for me, what does that mean about you? Or what does it mean about who it's projected on? It's
Nothing.
basically just an unconscious pattern. Yeah, playing.
Yeah, it's very unloving.
It's
So.
actually, it's very conditional, and I would say it's existentially based, and it's the cause of a lot of trouble, basically.
There's something in running in the system, because Monica and me, we tomorrow we have our first workshop together.
Oh, fun.
Yes, it's the journey into the own pregnancy and birth.
Fun.
And this triggers, you know, so much of fear of being rejected, not to do it right, excitement, and all this. And there's also something that wants to push it down. So
yeah. So okay, so you're here, and you notice information coming onto the screen.
Yeah.
And so then somehow the way it's being held is that it's a trigger. So, you know, like you said, it triggers.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between, oh, I'm triggered, and oh, there's an opportunity now to meet this? is a, you know,
There's
like,
a different universe.
yeah, different universe. So great, you know, wow, there's an opportunity. And so, you know, like, now let's just be with this opportunity. Does this opportunity hinder this interest to hold to make this offering?
No,
No, it doesn't at all.
no.
Yeah. And so, you know, now there's the possibility, okay. So, I mean, there's so many layers to this inquiry in a sense, you know, it's like, you know, it's like when we hold a meeting like this together, if I have an agenda that I have to do something, I could say,
Yeah.
then of course, you know, that's going to put pressure, and it's going to, it's like, it's not relaxing then for me. It's just somehow, you know, it's like so for me, it's like the impulse came for you guys to hold this event together. And you've both been exploring for years. And so for sure, you know, there's just being, I would say, naked and vulnerable and being with the group's interest, people are going to get value.
Mm.
I mean, without doing anything special, just showing up.
Mm.
Playing with what you know, just playing. Okay, somehow there was an interest to explore this terrain, whatever it is, you know, and now you're just letting the consciousness of the people that show up show what wants to reveal itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And to the extent that there's like, you can be naked, I think, wow, you know, like this idea that I could do it wrong, all that comes up in me, and you know, I see it and I can feel it. If it comes up at the time of the meeting, you know, just to bring it, okay, wow, this is what's showing up here, and then, you know, it's like an equal meeting, which is the best as far as I can see. All
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
we're all in the same boat. We're exploring them. Yeah.
Yes, and there is, or there was such an, it was so covered with this idea.
You have
You
to
know,
do it right, or have
on
to
the
do
one
it
side, I know
well.
that you can, but this is, yeah, I have to do it right. I have to do it well. I am responsible.
Yeah.
All this,
Yeah.
and the longing is, yeah, just to be with whatever
Mhm.
comes up.
Mhm. Exactly.
It somehow, it plays not only in this setting, it plays in the whole life, all the
Of
time.
course, yeah, of course. I mean, these, you know, this information, you could say, is pretty through the system, and it's beautiful. It's starting to come to consciousness, and then it can be met. You know?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just plays underground, you know.
Mm. Thank you, Isaac.
Thank you, Susanna. Yes. Hey, Judith.
Hey, Isaac. Beautiful inquiries, and I can relate to all of them.
We really are all in the same boat, you know.
It's definitely so, yeah. And here I can see this idea that I should do it right, and otherwise, yeah.
So just taking a moment of that construct, we could say, or that universe.
Yes, I see it's very existential.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah.
do it wrong, it's so existential.
Yeah.
Then I will lose
Yeah.
all my security. And
Yeah, all of that stuff. So just
yeah, like a young organization that lost the mother if she did it wrong. So
Yeah.
the fear that I would lose her is so existential.
yeah. So just seeing now, is it necessary still, right now, this moment,
In
not
this
in the
moment.
in this moment, absurd.
And I also don't feel it in this moment now.
Exactly.
But I felt in the beginning of the meeting that I had difficulties with actually a bit hiding, not wanting to put my hand up, because last time I felt in a deep stillness, but then you pointed out where's the sweet spot. So immediately everything in me is going, I did it wrong. Then it gets so strong in that direction.
Yes, so let's just look at that. That invitation of just exploring the sweet spot, was it saying you were doing anything wrong? Was it just a simple invitation to, let's not stop here?
Yeah.
Let's keep exploring. I mean, it's like...
Yes, but I just pointed out because I see that, but in this system, it
went down that other pathway.
So quickly it goes in that pathway.
Yeah,
and I just saw it, and
Yeah.
and I also, because I know this from other meetings as well, it doesn't go so deeply in that part anymore.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so that it just say, no, you don't need to go there. I see it, and that's enough.
Yeah.
But I also see this, the other side, how existential this is, that fear, I would say. Or something. Yeah.
So
it helps to speak it. It helps. It supports to speak it.
In this moment, I have the right to be. Just repeat. Say it.
In this moment, I have the right to be.
I'm surviving.
I'm surviving.
All the old information that has troubled me is cancelled.
All the old information what has troubled me has cancelled.
Yeah.
And here I am.
And across all dimensions, all...
Oh yeah, across all dimensions, all layers.
All that.
On all levels.
Yeah, cool.
We delete it on all levels, through all dimensions.
On all levels, yeah. And I'm alive.
I'm alive.
Yeah.
Here.
Yes. Yeah. I'm interested to keep exploring and playing, and keep finding, going deeper and deeper into the sweet spot, and making very subtle distinctions that allow
everything to reveal as it wants, and the way it is.
Yeah.
No need to be any different.
Very cool, Judith. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac.
And I think Emmy had a hand. You're up. Yeah, there's Emmy. I see you. You still want to raise your hand? Cool. Yeah, I'm with you.
Hi.
Hi, Emmy. Just gently recognizing where unconscious patterns have given yourself away from old information. Just, I mean, it's like just to recognize it. Giving up our sovereignty. And just recognizing what happens when those patterns play, and that there's a giving away of our sovereignty, of our right to be just the way we are. What happens in the physiology, in the mind, in the energy system? Just taking some moments just to get conscious about it. Yeah? What happens in our brain? What happens in our, just tracking. It's not wrong, it's not bad, for sure. We learned it from who knows where.
I just raised my hands because I was feeling such a joy, and I was wishing to be with someone, to share, to at least to be present with someone. And it feels for me so much more easy to sit here and be present. Especially something shocking happened last night, a few hours before I had to go to sleep. So that was quite something, which brought me, as you say, a lot of opportunities also. But the residue still remained this morning, and it didn't feel, whatever, I don't know, didn't feel like hiding it.
Beautiful.
It
Beautiful.
was,
So you feel safe. That's
Yeah.
that's wonderful. Yeah.
yeah. I'm always, or not always, that's strange to say, but quite often kind of light-hearted during the meeting. But this morning was really a heavy stone somewhere in the body, and somehow, without even having to talk about it, it's kind of cleared because of all the investigations being done and being part of me, actually. And so that came this wish to just sit.
Yeah. Perfect.
Sit with you. Yeah. And I do have a question. Maybe we can look at this. During the night, I was, my attention was drawn to something shocking that was revealed last night. And I went through all kind of stages. It was very existential also. But I remember what you say then. Is it life-threatening? No, which wasn't. It still is a practical problem. It's not nothing, but it's not existential. And then my mind would still go all the time to what was there, how I could solve it, what would happen to the person involved, because it was about my son who cannot cope with life very easy this time. And so what I remember you saying is the content of the mind is, that's one thing. And then the other thing is just the awareness of it. So I went about it a little bit hard, not very gentle, but I said to myself, okay, this is the content of the mind. I don't want to have anything to do with that. I just want to, who is aware of it? And then always, every time I was in that process, it became clear and it was widening up to just follow.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but just to be followed 5 minutes later again by the sucking energy of the content, which is so addicting somehow, or sucking, whatever it is. It's strong. But finally I fell asleep to just wake up in panic again. Completely panic. And this morning I didn't have the energy, or I don't know what happened, but somehow I didn't go about it in a wise way. I just felt panicked.
Yeah. So, look, if panic comes up, I think, again, it's something that many of us, or most of us, have experienced.
Yeah.
And so ultimately what we're looking for is something to resource ourselves. So for many, having another nervous system to just be present with us can be of help. the inquiry that you did about, is there an actual existential threat right now, can be useful, but in this case, it's relating to your son's, from your perception, incapacity to really handle his life, if I heard correctly. So in that sense, it is existential for his existence. And as a mom, that would touch, whatever it touches, I would say it like that. So then it comes down to practicality. Is there anything practical that can be done?
Yes, and I did it already. Whatever
And you did.
practicality. Yeah.
What you could do, yeah, you've done, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's taken care of.
Yeah.
And there's love.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. 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 That is maybe the most beautiful thing that comes out of it.
Yeah.
There's love. There's love flowing both ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it touched something in me also about my feeling of safety in life.
Mhm.
Because his issue is that at the moment, recently, he made great debts. And I always thought I saved up some money so that I could kind of be there for him in case something went wrong. And somehow that kind of feeling of safety that I had built in kind of also was very, I think that was gone. It was completely gone for me, because money can do a few things and it has its limits. But somehow I had built up something of safety in my mind around the situation, and that collapsed also.
Look, he's probably not the first person to build up debts, and I doubt he'll be the last person to. And unless he's built up the debts to gangsters, it's like, okay, then, it's like people will have to wait. If he doesn't have it, they have to wait. Or what can they do to him, really? They say, you have to pay. You say, I don't have that. I don't have it. I'm sorry, it's like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But it was funny. During the meeting, there was a lot of investigation about safety. And I realized I had put my sense of safety in having saved up some money. And it kind of became clear that is that's kind of a trap. It's
Yeah. But the main thing is energetically, your son knows you have his back.
My son knows.
He knows that you have his back, that you're there for him.
Yeah.
He knows that. So that's a big thing. Whether you have enough money to pay off all these debts, so who knows? I mean, I don't know if that's such a good thing anyway. I mean, from my perspective, you can maybe help him a little bit, but not that that you drown because he made bad decisions. Just you help him within the context of how you can. That's it, and then he knows you you've got his back, you're there for him. But if you, it's like again, actually in this area, a dad just drowned because his daughter was in the ocean and she got the current took her and he went to try and save her and he drowned and she was actually she got pulled out, but the dad died. So it's like
Yeah, I understand now what you're saying. Yeah. No, I think that I don't see happening. I there's too much value also for myself. So more recognition.
Yeah.
No, it's all a learning process actually all the time.
100%, 100%.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you for your trust in bringing it.
Yeah. Yes.
Esther. Thank you, boss, for hosting. Thank you all for showing up. Right.